What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We back at it for another episode of Connect Wednesdays. This is episode 73. We're gonna call this one Crypto Talk. There's a lot of things going on in the crypto space right now. So, you know, we're gonna introduce ourselves real quick and then we'll dive right in. I'm Champ Bobbitt, Steve Bayonne. Steve, it's good, brother. Talk
Yeah,
that talk.
just cooling. So, guys, I wanted to take it back. One of the first videos I remember, I had read the astrology on Bitcoin, right? Because we know the birth date and year. And that's where that was like the backbone of creating what was then Skyton Crypto University, which is currently now Skyton Academy. So when I read the astrology report, it gave me the 2025 financial revolution. All of it was inside of that astrology reading. Um, I'm big on it. My wife is heavy into it. It's just, it's just something that we follow. And whether you want to believe it or not, I just listen, I'm a critical thinker. And trust me, when I know something is spot on, it's spot on. I wouldn't even be selling you guys anything. So we're at a pivotal point in time right now, and I just want to take you to maybe just a couple weeks ago because we had just switched over. Um, so here's a little history right now. All right. So Pluto transits through Capricorn, right? And this is a period of transformation, destruction, and rebirth that began in 2008. All right. And it's closing right now it just closed November of this year. All right. So if you know, in 2008, we were dealing with the housing crisis. So my wife connected this dot the other day as we went. Pluto's currently in Aquarius, and she connected some dots for me. And it was like from that 2008, I'm telling you, my life has been like, there's been a lot going on, right? Between lawsuits, former company. I mean, it just felt like no matter what I did, I just couldn't get it right. Okay. And this was the time I was actually transforming because I went to go see Tony Robbins. A lot of you heard this story before. I was out of it. I was being sued in federal court in New York. Um, I had my company stolen from me. Like I went through the ringer. Two children. I remember sitting in a restaurant one day, hibachi, and when you got to look at your bank account before you pay or move money around, you know that stuff's not all the way right. That's where I was at. And then when I went to my bank account, I remember there was no money in the business account. And I had a partner at the time. So he ended up taking all the money. And I mean, it was the worst day of my life at that point. One of the worst days. Probably the worst day. Right. So I say that to say I was going through a lot between eight and even up until like now. Yeah, things changed a little bit, but I mean, there's just been a lot. Right. So when I go back and I look at the transit through Capricorn, which was between 2008 till November of just this past November, here's Pluto's role, guys, so you guys understand. Pluto is a planet of power, transformation, and hidden underworld, right? So it's associated with intense transitions, secrets, scandals, and hidden power structures. Now, walk with me. It sounds like exactly what we're going through right now. So Capricorn's role, Capricorn is a zodiac sign associated with government, banks, big business, and father figures. All right. And I'm also a Capricorn, just a sidebar. All right. So, what's happened during this period when Pluto was in transit through Capricorn, right? So, this is 2008 till last month. Pluto's time in Capricorn exposed the dark side of power, authority, and the financial system. Put a one in the chat if you feel like this is what's happening today with entertainers and banks and all things. Champ, just let me know because I'm not watching.
All ones.
There we go. All right, so we on this ride. All right, so it's also been a time to dismantle outdated systems and confront the cost of power yielded without integrity. Sucker shit is over. Y'all following me? All right. So what's to come? Pluto's final push through Capricorn is a time to confront struggles around control, dominance, and vulnerability. Okay. And this is going to help everybody because you're probably feeling a little weird now and you might not know why you're feeling like this or transitions, transformation. All right. It's also a time to release toxic and negative patterns, relationships to emerge with more power, evolution, and spiritual growth. Y'all feeling me? All right. So when does this end? Pluto moves out of Capricorn. It just moved November 19th, 2024, and re-enter Aquarius, where it'll stay for 20 years in Aquarius. All right. Now, here's the time to be alive right now. So Pluto's currently in Aquarius for the next 20 years, guys. All right. Walk with me now. So Pluto will be in Aquarius from January 20th, 2024, through, well, it kind of happened already, right? It was a small point, September 1st, 2024. And then again, November 19th, right? 2024 through March 8th, 2043. So that's the 20 years there. All right. So this is a significant event because Pluto will remain in Aquarius almost 19 years to be exact. Pluto is associated again with power, wealth, secrets, death, and transformation. All right. So when it enters Aquarius, it's said to empower the masses to organize and disrupt systems that failed them. Trump has a team of Avengers coming in. Forget him, right? Just think about the people and the organizations that they're about to dismantle. You have all these moms that put together the Kellogg situation to ban the stuff. You have the Pop-Tarts out of here. You have the Skittles and stuff leaving the West Coast. You have the state of Florida banning social media for kids under 14 years old. The power is always in the people. It's just about organizing it. Effectively, that current power structure that's in play now in Washington would not have brought us together. I promise you that. Okay? They want you to focus on divide. You following me? And don't get me wrong, I'm not endorsing Trump. I'm just telling you that there's a team that actually operates things, and it's not him. Okay? Again, so Pluto is associated with power, wealth, secrets, death, and transformation. When it enters Aquarius, it's said to empower the masses to organize and disrupt systems that have failed pretty much the masses. This could lead to a new era of transformation that redefines power structure and prioritizes equality and freedom. This is 19 years, guys, but it's going to be a hell of a fight, though. All right. So here's some things that Pluto in Aquarius could mean, right? So for personal growth, Pluto in Aquarius could influence personal growth and transformation. Professional shifts. Pluto in Aquarius could lead to intense transformative shifts in your professional life. Discovery and purpose. Pluto in Aquarius could lead to discover your purpose and to leave more significant mark on the world. And then sharing what you've learned. You could be called to share what you've learned to a younger generation. All right, guys. So Pluto last passed through Aquarius in 1777 and 1798, which conceded the French and American Revolution. So the last time that this joint came through, stop the nonsense. Do we not feel like we're right there to just band together to say, yo, enough is enough? Whether it's healthcare, whether it's pharmaceutical, you see the papers coming out on COVID, the timing couldn't be any perfect. You understand? And even when you look at the transit during the time of COVID, the same thing. It was the same one right around the Spanish flu. The disease, the death, affecting the elderly. Like there's so much truth in this, right? And I'm not here to like tell you, oh, you should believe in it. And listen, when I first met Champ, he wasn't a proponent of it at all, right? Not that he was ignorant to it. He was just like, listen, I don't rock on that side. He had his ideology. And then, once I started tapping in with him a little bit, where you at with it, Champ?
Nah, every day I tap in every day. I get the horoscope, tells me kind of the basis for the day, all things. Yeah, and it'd be spot on 100% every
Every
day,
time.
every time.
So guys, you're probably feeling stuck. You're probably feeling a lot of change coming, right? A lot of people don't really feel comfortable with change. You know that you have to let go of certain old ways, but then you're probably a little bit worried about what's on the other side of that. I'm just telling you that it's going to get a lot better, but it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better because that opposite side that they're fighting, these guys have just been in power for so long, right? They're not just going to let it go so easily. But with people coming together, you'll start to see how much pushback they'll get. Because at the end of the day, guys, if we don't buy their narrative, it just goes away. I can remember probably just this year, they were just releasing so many things. Oh, there's this monkeypox over here. Yo, nobody paid it attention. They just dropped it. Monkeypox never came. Don't give it no energy. Now I'm here in Australia. Oh, there's a bunch of diseases released. Don't give it no time, right? What you focus on always expands. And that's what they do to us through conditioning. Trust me. If COVID was to happen again and we just said, you know what, just turn off the TV, don't pay it no mind, just whatever, act like no mandates, no nothing. Watch how fast that shit would have ended.
Yep.
It was a movie, guys. I'm just telling you. We are living in a psyop. As long as we keep, as long as we never come together to stand against something that we know is wrong, right? Then it just is what it is, right? So even if Trump was right about something, they still got 50% of the population to be like, nah, forget it. I hear it all the time. You know, celebrities, whoever would say the greatest thing in the world, but you can't get past the messenger. That will not free you guys. There's so many messages. Everyone has a story to tell. Everyone has a story to tell. We got to stop with the ignorance now. Start to listen. Start to listen, to ask questions. My wife says that shit all the time. Right? You don't have to listen to respond. Just listen, ask some questions. Get to know what the person is saying. Conversation could start a war and it could end a war.
End the war. Yeah.
That's how powerful conversations are. So I'm just telling you, man, we got to organize. And if anything, Bitcoin is one of the biggest forms of organization that's out there right now. $100,000 sidestep the entire central banks. All the biggest families in the world, the most powerful people in the world cannot figure this thing out right now. Why? Because shit, people just said this is what it is. So this is probably the second sitting president that I can remember outside of JFK that is on some like death to the banks, forget the central banks, and let's just move on to something new. And the last time at JFK that they left his brains on that car. Because that's what he was coming for, the Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve, yeah.
That's a private entity, guys. We don't have to do nothing they say at all. But it's snakes in the basement, right? You hear federal, you hear, you know, they have no power. Trust me when I tell you, and you're watching it through this technology that Champ and I have been pouring our hearts and time into for the last decade, but
Right.
formally 3 years with you guys. Everything that we said has come to fruition. People are just tired right now. Just tired. The banks aren't doing right. Right? Just imagine if a bank was a person and they did that shit with your money. You'd be ready to kill. How is it legal?
Yeah.
Fractional banking, how is it legal? But we're accepting of it. Why? Because it's convenient. It's all we know, right? Your direct deposit hits your bank account, you get to spend some money, they give you a plastic card, you swipe, and they take your money and they're doing the most with it. And then if you go ask for your money, they're going to tell you that they don't have it. So quick story. I went to buy XDC the other day. All right, just a normal day at the park for me. No problem. Steve could figure it out. Nope. 30 minutes, damn near 45 minutes to buy that. What happened? I went to my trusted MoonPay. My debit card is already over there. It's never been declined before. Declined. I said, oh shit. All right. I'm waiting for the text message to come in from my bank, right? It's supposed to be automated. Did you do the transaction? Never came. Logged onto my bank. It acted like the transaction was not even in a pending status. Call the bank. We don't know what you're talking about. We don't see anything on our end. I'm like, what? No problem. There was an article the other day and I dropped it on my page. Coinbase had released a letter that they caught. The FDIC was going around and giving institutions notices to say, listen, ban every crypto transaction that's happening right now. This is the Operation Choke Point 2.0. This is another layer of it.
Yeah.
All right. So now they're not even acknowledging it. So MoonPay, if you know, MoonPay is 100% crypto. So the system already knows. Eliminate that. Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan Chase, he said it out of his mouth. No crypto transactions are going through. Whose fucking money is that? They're talking to you as if it's their money, but guess what? By law, it is their money. So they're not allowing you to move your money because it's their money. Because you didn't read the small print inside that book. And if you open a fintech company, then you just hit accept and you didn't read the terms and conditions. It's their money. So I couldn't do a transaction with my money. It's not about protection at this point. Back to the story. I said, you know what? Let me go to the old trusted now, Cash App. The reason you can sidestep Cash App is because they don't know if it's Bitcoin or if it's a cash transaction. So I do the Cash App, boom, they alert me right away. It was the dollar amount, right? It was like $9 million. Nothing crazy. I was buying a small bit of XDC, just $9 million worth. I'm fucking with you. It was like 2K, right? So text message comes through. Did you approve this? Did you do this transaction? I put one. They said, all right, if it was declined, go back again. No problem. It went through. I got it from Cash App. I went Cash App to the exchange and I did my transaction at the end of the day. Understand? It took me about 45 minutes, guys, because I one calling a bank. It just because I just needed to verify that. When have you ever done a transaction and it wasn't pending on your account that they couldn't see it on their end? And I did it 5 times. So that means you didn't even block my card at this point to protect me if it was a fraud. MoonPay's dead. Skyton Pay looking a little weird now too. Right, that's our partnership with Stripe, where you could on ramp. For those of you who are new, we have a partnership with Stripe where you can buy cryptocurrency directly from us. We did this probably like a year ago.
Yep.
So I'm just telling you, like, tell me you don't want to bank with me without telling me you don't want to bank with me. That's why I have more money in cryptocurrency than I do in this fiat bullshit ass system that we have here. Shit's dumb, guys. I'm telling you. You do not have autonomy over what you thought was yours, right? Then on top of that, as I'm spending out here, I'm realizing that the power of that money has been stepped on. It's not even worth much anymore when I go to the stores. But then when I go over to my crypto wallet, put a fire emoji in the chat if your crypto wallets are up.
Let's go.
I got more return in my crypto wallet in the last month since Trump won than banks probably ever paid me in all the years that I've been banking. If you add up all the interest they ever gave me, you times it by 100, there's no way it could touch my wallet since the Trump effect. No way.
More,
More fire.
more fire. Let's go.
That's all I got for y'all today.
Yeah, man. Listen, we greatly appreciate that, man. You know, you get them drummed
So the
up.
moral of the story for short is band together and just fight like hell. You know what I'm saying? Do not accept what they're giving us right now. Please don't. Because we know it's stupidity. We know the insurance companies, we know the pharmaceutical, like we know everything because we have information. Don't be fucking dumb. And I don't mean that with love. I mean that with like, yo, if you're on that side, then just stay on that side because you're making it hard for us. But just don't be dumb. It's not even about going with your instinct anymore. It's like it's obvious. But I'm a rabbit and I got the gun. And I would tell every single rabbit on here, pick up the gun.
Straight up.
Trust me when I tell you that. It's not enough of them. If we can't get it done in these 4 years, we're fucked. I'm telling you, that 2030 agenda, we're cooked. You would have to know how to move. You would need a lot of wealth to be able to sidestep everything that's about to happen to us. And this administration coming in right now are the only ones that are going to give pushback on all of it. Now, whether they change it or not, I'm going to tell you that once all these things are exposed, there's no way we go back to that old guard. And if we do, then this country is dumber than I thought. And it's pretty dumb. But I'm not giving up on it just yet. But I am out of here soon. Go ahead, champ. What's going on in crypto?
My God. All right, so first things off the Richter scale. I'm super excited, but I'm gonna walk y'all into it. All right. So Monday we had the call with 60 Minutes, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. And he was on there talking about just crypto, the fight that he's had against the SEC. And there was a lot of nonsense, for lack of better words. It was bullshit at what they did, right? 60 Minutes, we should have known anytime that there's a old guard that's in position, of course they're not going to champion the real, right? They want to keep the people out. They don't want to give you the true, the real. So basically they spun it was a 60-minute actual interview. They only aired 13 minutes. Out of the 13 minutes, the majority of it was spent talking about Donald Trump and how the super PAC that they formed basically bought the election, right? This is how they tried to spin it. The actual truth is they didn't try to spin it. They used their money in crypto, right? The money that was earned, right, from the people outside of the vote. But they used the money itself to influence and supercharge the candidates. When I mean supercharge the candidates, they educated the people what exactly cryptocurrency was, what these technologies will do, how it will make life better, and they put money behind them. This has been going on since forever, right? Lobbyists do this all the time, but they do it to line the pockets of other people. This was done for a true organic reason. The reason being is because Gary Gensler and the SEC took a stance to basically have a war against crypto. That war against crypto, all they did was they led with enforcement. And Gary Gensler, he taught crypto at MIT. So those of you who never even knew that backstory, that's just a little nugget for you. You can do the research on your own. But Gary Gensler literally taught cryptocurrency. He was familiar about Ripple, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. Right? He knew about the technologies down to a deep level. He was able to teach this to not only institutions but to other people. So do with that information what you will. But long story short, the interview was just horrible, right? So I'm gonna give you my quick thoughts on it. First things first was it was good to see Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple and XRP center stage. The questions were horrible. It didn't highlight Ripple properly, nor the tremendous victory or the fight that Ripple has put up against the SEC for regulatory clarity. And they didn't do this just for Ripple or XRP. They did this for the entire crypto industry, right? We still don't have true rules of the land, but that's unfolding right now. And the only coin that has regulatory clarity is XRP, and that's because of this fight. All right. Um, Three, there was a bozo that was on there. Ken Stark, I believe his name was. He was from the SEC. He was a waste of time and space. He purposely went up there and said that cryptocurrency is not transparent. And he basically spread lies and propaganda. This is what they do on mainstream media. So this was as expected, right? You guys have to understand one, you got to really do the research and really be in here, both foot in, waist deep, fully immersed, and you can spot all of this nonsense that they do every single time. That was a hit piece. All right. Um, Brad, he killed it. He's always so poised and he always speaks for the entirety of cryptocurrency. He always advocates for everybody else. He champions, he's all about interoperability. So he always wants to work with other projects, which is incredible. And that's what the industry is leading to. There's going to be a lot of crypto projects that are out of here, but the ones that kind of commingle, they work with each other, they create side chains and synergies with one another. Those are the ones that's going to thrive, and everybody here is going to have the confidence in knowing what they are and be able to invest in them early. This is why you're here with Skyton Academy. All right. So I say all that to say that was the largest viewed interview in their tweet ever on their platform. We're talking about 3 point. I think the last time I checked was on the 8th, I believe it was, and it was 3.7 million views on that tweet. So that just lets you know that the people actually want cryptocurrency. They want to hear about it and they're eager to learn, especially now that we have a pro crypto president and all these candidates here. All right. So just understand you're on the right path. Don't let anybody trick you out your position. Know why you're here, know what you hold, and understand that this game is changing right in front of your faces. All right. Now, that's out the way. I got some great news for you guys.
Hold on,
So,
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
all right, go
hold on,
ahead.
hold on. Because I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm not gonna go fully into it, and then I'm out of here. I'm out of your hair.
Got you. All right.
Before his great news, here's some great news before that one, right? I don't know which one's greater because I don't know what he's about to say, but he knows what I'm about to say. So we landed our first sponsorship. Now, you know, it's been 3 years and we don't mess with anything out there. And we've been approached by a lot of stuff before. But this one here is going to be nice. We're going to release it. Well, you'll see it on our IG page tomorrow. But if you go to my personal IG page now or even Champs, you will see a basketball and then you'll hear some music. And then that's all I'm going to say today, right? So we do not endorse anything. Like it takes a lot. I was finding ways to say no to this one, but I couldn't because I was 14 years old when history was made, and it's just wild to be full circle right now with people wanted us to work with them on a piece of history. So tomorrow we're dropping the first video installment and we're going to release the project to you guys, but I'm not going to say the project today though, because I want to just drop the situation first. You guys can connect the dots if you want to go that hard or just wait till tomorrow. But what I want you to do is when you go to our pages, I definitely want you guys engaging with the content. And on top of that, do your own research, but this one's going to be it. This one's going to be it. This
Let's
is going to
go.
be it. I feel this one's going to be a good one. Good team of attorneys. When you get the piece of history, you'll be like, and it's there. It's on my page already, so you'll already know where I'm going. And for all my enthusiasts who grew up watching that era of just dominance and dynasty, they couldn't have picked the better guys for this at all. And it was really just about the voice because they were like they wanted the culture. So when I tell you that old guard, that old media guard, that shit is dead. It's us. We up now.
Yep.
People are
We
listening
got
to us now. Integrity, sucker shit is dead, man. All right, champ.
that.
Saturday we'll release. Actually, tomorrow to be released on the IG pages. Please
Okay.
engage with it. Research the project, right? And then I'm gonna break down more for all our members on Saturday on our members only call. And then there'll be a replay if you can't get on. If you're not a member, champ will drop the just get inside the academy. Trust me when I tell you. There's no other time in history that you don't want to miss this one.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss this show.
All right. I got you. I'm dropping it right
What
now.
news you got? And I'm walking away.
Listen, that right there, that kind of trumps because that's home team. Listen, brother, no celebratory drinks. We ain't smoking. We ain't drinking. Health is wealth on this side. But listen, my water is raised. Great work. Officially 3 years in. Love you, brother. We did the
It's,
damn thing. We had some trying times, some trying moments. We've been nonstop, man. Balls to the wall, pedal to the metal. We've been getting to it. You know what I mean? And I greatly appreciate you. I wouldn't do this with nobody else all my life. Let's go.
listen, and I'm dropping tokens to people too. I'm dropping tokens to people too. Saturday.
Yeah, it's go time, baby.
Yeah, I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped. I've always waited for something like this. Just something that just made sense. Because we've pushed so many projects before. You know that they don't even acknowledge us in the space at all.
Mhm.
The
Yep.
institutional projects, they don't even acknowledge us. I've watched them give shit to like Mason and his girl. I'm like, what? Those two?
Yeah, it's
Come
wild,
on,
man.
man. I've watched sponsorship money drop like on just the dumbest crypto content influencers out there. And y'all know if y'all know Mason and his girlfriend, come on, that stuff is weak on that side, man. She's actually better than him. He's the worst.
That's a fact.
But it'll be no her without him. So it's like mince them together. There's no way Champ and I shouldn't be reporting the news in cryptocurrency to everybody.
Real talk. Real talk. No hating, all facts.
I'm out. That's just dumb.
He said, "Mic drop. I'm out."
I'm out.
I bet. So listen, I got some incredible news. This is incredible for the entire crypto industry. I'm hyper excited because I've been waiting for this news. All right, but I want to give you guys an oversight. So, does anybody here know what the New York State Department of Financial Services is? Drop a one in the chat if you do. If you don't, put a zero. All right, so just because I see a couple zeros in there, I'm gonna walk you guys through this. Let me let somebody else in the room real quick. All right, so basically, the New York Department of Financial Services, you guys already know that the New York State period is the financial hub of the world, right? It's the financial hub, especially of the US. And when things aren't cleared in the state of New York, it's it's like super red tape being able to kind of bypass it. So I'm gonna give you guys a rundown of who they are and their mission, right? So the New York Department of Financial Services, it supervises and regulates the activities of over 3,000 financial institutions with assets that total more than $9.7 trillion. And that was as of December 31st, 2023. So as then, of course, they're managing even more capital. All right. So also, they regulate by department more than 1,900 insurance companies with assets of more than $6.4 trillion, 1,100 property and casualty insurance companies, 64 primary benefit managers, 92 health insurers and managed care organizations, 128 life insurance companies, more than 1,300 banking and other financial institutions with assets totaling more than $3.3 trillion. This includes 66 state banks, state charter banks, 71 foreign branches, 10 foreign agencies, 22 virtual currency companies, hello, and 12 credit unions. So they're definitely not a small entity, right? They really get busy. And I wanted to give you guys these stats for a reason. All right. Their mission: build equitable, transparent, and resilient financial system that benefits individuals, hello, retail, and supports businesses. Through engagement, data-driven regulation and policy, and overall excellence, the department and its employees are responsible for empowering consumers and protecting them from financial harm. This is what the SEC was supposed to be doing, but the SEC has failed miserably, right? I'm not going to spend too much time on the New York Department of Federal Services, of Financial Services, but I have to highlight this because Brad Garlinghouse just announced yesterday that Ripple has received the final approval from the New York Department of Financial Services for its stablecoin RLUSD. Exchange partners and listings are going to be live soon, and I need you guys to understand that this is massive, super massive. And everybody who is holding XRP and Ripple, stop. Let me make sure I'm clear on that. Listen, you're poised. This is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I know. Now, the reason this matters so much, first things first, RLUSD is a stable coin, right? This information today is December 11th, right? This information itself means everything because in cryptocurrency, the number one stable coin that everybody is utilizing at this time is what? USDT, Tether. It is the largest stablecoin by market capitalization, which means globally, this is the stablecoin that everybody is using. This is where the most of the money funnels into. Everybody who's been a part of the academy, you guys know how we feel about Tether, right? Tether is not formally backed one-to-one with proper reserves. They haven't had true audits, right? Like other blockchains and other cryptocurrencies. And on top of all of that, they operate in a nefarious manner. The New York Attorney General, Letitia James, said, listen, Tether, you cannot operate here in New York. This happened a couple years ago. Ever since then, they have not been able to operate in New York. That's why people who operate or live in New York and they try to operate on cryptocurrency exchanges, you cannot access USDT Tether without knowing workarounds or being able to utilize it, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing, who just approved Ripple stablecoin RLUSD? New York Department of Financial Services. So now we're talking about the same state that banned USDT Tether, and they're no more. They can no longer operate in that state. They just approved Ripple's own stablecoin. Ripple specializes in working with banks, central banks, governments, and financial institutions for cross-border payments and remittances. One of the biggest things that they ever came across in their technology was leveraging XRP, right? But here's the thing, some of the banks, because of the, I guess the grand scale of transactions that they perform. This is governments included, right? Governments are nothing but larger enterprises. They're just governments. So some of these governments that are doing cross-border payments, they were kind of hesitant in using XRP alone. The reason being is because they were being skeptics, right? So when they went through their beta testing and they were utilizing XRP in the stack, they said, listen, even though XRP is fast, efficient, it cuts costs down tremendously, we're able to pass these savings on to customers, especially people who are sending money from other countries, right? To other family members and parties. They understood that there's still a time of 3 to 5 seconds that it takes for the transaction to happen. So in the time of 3 to 5 seconds, anything can happen, right? That's XRP's advantage over damn near every other cryptocurrency that does this, right? Is the fact that the one they're working with banks and that XRP is integrated in the technology. But still, that question mark for the banks was that 3 to 5 second time frame. So what Ripple decided to do, Ripple was going through USDC, right? Circle is the company who issues that stablecoin, USDC. Ripple was actually the catalyst of about 20 to 30% of all minted USDC. So Brad Garlinghouse and the team, they said, listen, instead of us going through Circle, why don't we just create our own stablecoin, have it 100% fully backed by its reserves, right? And it's pegged 1 to 1 to the dollar, fully transparent. Let's do it. And what happened? Just yesterday, we finally got the approval. So now it's go time. What this means is that now every single time, and this is, I'm gonna give you guys another nugget with this. I just want to I'm nerding out right now. So listen, now that they have formal approval, understand what that means for USDT. USDT, which has the #1 slot right now, it's actually being delisted because of MiCA compliant regulations, right? What MiCA is markets and crypto assets. Basically, all the banks, all the financial institutions that's inside of the EU or the European Union, they have a level of compliance. They all came together and said, listen, if they're not compliant, if they don't have proper reserves, if they're not transparent, if they don't submit proper documentation to us to show that we literally have all of the backing and it's actually pegged to the true dollar, it's out of there. Tether did not comply. They did not give what was necessary because they couldn't. For years, I've literally called this. Steve has literally called this. Now it's happening. And guess when it's happening? Officially, as early as December 13th, 2024. Yes, 2 days from now, all the way up to December 30th, which is the deadline of 2024. December 30th is the very last day. So everything that we've told you guys 100% has hit the mark. And no, we don't have a crystal ball. We just really do this. And we really care about this data and this information because it's going to affect you, the people. This is why you're supposed to be rocking with Skyton Academy. It's why we do what we do. So listen, I'm excited right now, and I am tooting my own home a little bit. We deserve it, right? And the reason being is because we called this. We set up these plays intentionally because what this is going to do, man, this is going to change the landscape. Now you have banks that are no longer going to be afraid to utilize one particular asset, and this one particular asset is the only one with regulatory clarity. So that's the dope part. Now you now have a complementary stable coin that just got approved. It creates a symbiotic relationship, basically 1 to 1. Every single time RLUSD gets sold, moved, transacted, whatever, converted, whatever the case is, it has to burn a certain amount of XRP. When it burns that certain amount of XRP, that means it's going to, one, increase the demand for XRP in the technology stack. It creates a better synergy. So now more banks and financial institutions are going to utilize it. And then on top of that, you guys already have access to it. You can go get it on exchanges right now, early. Not financial advice, just telling you what I know. So I'm ultra excited because these updates, they mean the most. Steve, did you want to contribute or you fly on the wall?
No,
Talk to me.
I probably should have went first with this one. I'm gonna take the air out the room.
Rock out.
It's like bittersweet, right? So sweet is what he said. Bitter is what I'm about to say.
Talk to him.
I've been told you, if I had a choice and I had the power, I would just stop all of this shit. You know, because I know what's on the other side of this. At least in this old system, we had some options to make moves. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know how to operate America as a business, you could definitely use it to your advantage on the books. I promise you that. Right? Here's the downside to this Ripple relationship with every government and then every bank. We're back to the same position again. If the landscape of government doesn't change, which there's a lot of countries that are adopting new young leaders, military coup, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? But if that old guard stays in place, they're going to do the most with this technology. All right. What he said was the sweet part of it. What I went through the other day with not being able to get my funds inside of a market is the beginning of what could be the end for some people. Understand? When these governments have control over stable coins, they start to now they can just control whoever they want to give the holy grail to. So I'm not mad at Tether because Tether was our entire life dependent on that situation. Mm-hmm. Right? And then the market started to grow, but they had dominance in that field. Whether or not they were tied to all the stuff that they're accusing them of, which I believe clearly, right? We know that. I'm not going to be dumb to think like all this money pumped into the market and it's like it's not tied to anything crazy. It sidestepped sanctions. It did the most powerful thing known to man, and we witnessed it, right? So when you start to cut off the ability to decide what I want to use today to on-ramp, I have a problem with that. Because they can easily do what Coinbase does. They can easily do what all these United States exchanges are going to do to us. Halt and freeze activity on your wallet at any time. So we better hope that this dude puts in this self-custody situation and just allow us to just stay in the dark. But if I had to guess, man, that's not it. They're going to come for those cold storage wallets.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? So the dark side to it is watching how the EU just totally eliminated that money from going through the system. It's not about the protection of people, right? Yeah, clearly they probably looking at the terrorist side, but what you have to understand is that's not as powerful as a bunch of people coming together to pump this thing to $100,000 because that's the reason that Bitcoin is where it's at right now. Mm-hmm. That's it. Now you're going to get this new world coming in here and every state is going to have a treasury of Bitcoin just to hedge against the failing dollar that they know is going to happen. The states will have more issues than the federal government would. Because when people are hurting, it affects your state, those cities, that crime. You see where I'm going with it?
Let's go.
Government's not going to care about that. So what we're witnessing is an attack on our on-ramping abilities. That's how I'm seeing it. Nobody's talking this narrative on the internet. Nobody. I promise you. After this video drops, watch how guys start to pick up and change their tone on it. It's all excitement out here. I keep telling you, I think this XRP stuff is a game. There's two sides to it. Ripple is centralized, and they're okay with working with anybody, and they're okay with creating a central bank digital currency. No problem. Yeah. That's the whack part about that project, and that's why guys on the Bitcoin side hate. They'll throw XRP in the mix with Ripple, right? Because to them it's one and the same. So I'm just telling you, as dumb as we think Bitcoin is, we're going to be looking wild soon. So you better have them bags packed. I'm telling you, you better have, because they're already telling you what it is. So at the least, it's going to go through anyway. You might as well make some money. It's not financial advice. Just do your own research.
Absolutely.
It was 54 cents January 1st, 2024. Yeah, you complain about 250, just wait. I'm not making price predictions, but I'm just telling you. this is going to cause a black swan event, guys. There's
Yeah.
a lot of US, unless Ripple is going to buy those T bills from Tether, or they're going to do some sort of bailout,
Hmm.
right? That
Yeah.
outside of doing that, we gonna feel it here.
Bad.
They were the only guys that were buying these junk bonds. That's the United States debt. They were the only guys buying it. That's what bought them time.
Yeah.
So when Champ kept saying, "Nah, they gonna whatever, whatever," I'm like, "Nah, Champ, they can't easily." They would have been. They would have did it a long time ago.
Yeah.
You see how easy it is for them to do it. They just needed that. They needed another player in the room. That's it. Nobody's gonna report the story like that. So remember, it doesn't matter what I'm saying today. Just remember, you're gonna look back 10 years, you're gonna be like, damn, that he did say that.
Real talk.
Why did I bring my, why was I on that exchange? You tied up. Yeah, the government created this technology, guys. You don't think they know how to code this thing properly and push you to where you need to go? So basically, it's telling you that you need to only use this.
Yeah.
There's no real decentralization in that because if this decides to work with those guys and we need you to cut this off, then is this really a celebration?
It's just it's part of the it's part of the never ending story, right? The progression of how things iterated, right, with cryptocurrency and how everything with Mount Gox. I know a lot of people here, you might be new, but that whole narrative of using it for, illicit activities, drugs, guns, all things, trafficking. And then now, now we have actual institutions that's here, and these guys are kind of laying the lay the land, right? And they're coming in with billions and trillions of dollars of capital. And in order for this market to grow, we have to grow with it. So there's going to be a lot of pains. So everything that Steve said is actually spot on. It's actually going to run right into the next thing that I'm going to talk about. But this is just part of the play. You guys are just early, so you have to understand. As this industry continues to grow and pivot, there's going to be a lot of changes that happen, and everything is going to affect you in some shape, form, or fashion, good or bad. You just have to know how to navigate and move with it. If you're a person that's playing it, I don't know, you might get cooked. But if you're a person that's good on the pivot, you know how to move around and maneuver, and you're quick on the draw, you got it.
Listen, guys, let me just recap it for you because I said a lot. Is to make it real simple because I could have said this 10 minutes ago. Damn. We made the same mistake with the internet. We made the very mistake. We're doing the same thing again. The internet was decentralized when we got it. And somehow they wrap rules and regulations around the shit. I can't say this. I get demonetized here. Like your ability to make money is affected on the internet. So when I put up those posts, people act like they don't care. Like, whatever. It's good. Because you're just sitting at work all day and you don't really report anything to anybody. So it doesn't matter. Right? What you're not realizing is once they silence the internet, they silence everybody. But you're not talking anyway. So it still won't matter, even if they told them, shh, because you'll just comply. This is where we're at right now. We're making the exact same mistake we did with the internet. We gave the power to Meta, right? We gave the power to X,
Yeah.
right? We gave the power to shit. I can't even say Instagram. Meta's just gobbling up everything.
Yeah.
So when I say we gave the power to these guys, meaning they control how we move, but they only make money on us moving. So what if we just all came together and we said, yo, man, we off of Instagram. What's that Kardashian that almost broke Snapchat? Kylie.
Probably, yeah.
Remember she put out that bad tweet? They did some update. I don't know the thing, but that was kind of the story.
Yeah.
And yo, the stock damn near crumbled. I'm talking about billions were pulled out.
Mm.
There is no them without us. They just tend to use those celebrities to kind of like, that's like American culture. Like we get sold celebrities. Yo, once we come off that shit, you would realize how much time you had to really pay attention to shit that matters. But this stable coin shit right here, yeah, I'm happy because we up, but damn, we fucking up.
Hey, we up right now. It's wild though.
No,
You know,
I'm just saying, but that's the yin and the yang to this shit right now. Like, what am I gonna say? No, I don't want all this crypto wealth. Like, come on, man. Is this what we're doing?
shit is wild, man.
We're already doing it. This shit was fun before they came, but all this I can't transact situation when I want to and how I used to, and I got to do an ID and I got to turn left and I got to turn right. I'm not with that. So that means if they control the stable coin, they control the exchanges. If they control the exchanges, they control the projects. I see where I'm going with this. Is it going to be decentralized? Or are we going right back to a digital system? Man, I might keep some cash on the side. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Definitely,
we
definitely got to
we
keep some
might have a
dollars.
small group of people that'd be transacting back in cash again, man. I'll do another episode on something because I don't want to leave y'all with that. But just you better pack your bags, whichever way you look at it. That's the first thing I would suggest everybody do. Whether it's a physical bag and then you just leave out of here, but this is happening in every country.
Yep.
Or
Assets.
you got to start buying. I was joking with my man the other day. I'm like, yo, we're gonna start buying small towns. He said small to medium sized towns. So, we start becoming cities and we don't adopt that stuff and we have our own, you can go to Fisher Island in off of Florida right now. They don't have, there's no dollars on the island. They have their own internal currency.
And currency, yeah.
This is where Oprah and all these people live. My man he plays golf out there. He works there. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, nah, this is, you know, you got to load up a certain amount on it. And that's how it transacts. It's a cashless island.
Yeah.
I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just leaving you guys with that thought. Like, trust me, them dudes is business as usual with those guys. The only difference is we got the information early.
Yeah.
So we could put together a lot of massive wealth and we could buy small to medium sized cities. That's what the fuck I'm on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so miss me when I say I'm not doing 101 no more, it's because of that shit. Not because I don't care about people, but they've been late to the goddamn party, and most of y'all late too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And listen, stop paying for this membership and being scared to buy assets. That's not what you in here for. Stop with the fear shit, guys. Trust me when I tell you that.
This ain't the time.
I'm
At
telling
all.
you, the greatest things are on the other side of that fear. Trust me, even if it's a lesson. Execute what you need to do, move it to self custody, and chill out. That's it. All right.
Wow.
Where were we? Sorry. Last time.
Listen, we could end it right there. That was a word. And I want to keep this palatable. We right at an hour. That was a word. I think we should end it right now. It's a wrap. I hate to leave y'all like that, but listen, y'all need to digest that information. This episode is pivotal. What we're gonna do is 74. We're gonna continue it where we left off from this. We're gonna go more into a new advancement. It's gonna be on the Willow super chip, quantum computing chip. We'll start it with there, and we'll go into some other things. But we done for the night. I want you guys to really focus. If you're new here, I want you guys to get inside the academy. Now is not the time to play. So I'm gonna drop it in the chat for you guys. That way you guys can be, you can be present with us. Everybody else, we'll see y'all Saturday. Members only call. This Connect Wednesdays, episode 73. Steve, talk to him. I know you had something you wanted to say real quick. All right. Connect Wednesdays, episode 73. This is called Crypto Chat, right? Big business episode. We out of here. Peace.